Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really powerful learning theory, one that's fundamental to training people for one of the most demanding jobs on Earth, turning a student into a skilled doctor.
It's a huge question, right? It gets right to the very heart of medical education. And as you can probably imagine, the answer is a lot more complicated than just memorizing a mountain of facts from a textbook.
Because the real challenge, the thing that truly makes a doctor, is bridging that enormous gap between theoretical knowledge and the complex, messy, and very human reality of patient care. That's where the real learning happens.
So how do you structure learning from experience? You can't just throw students into the deep end and hope for the best. Well, the answer lies in a framework called Kolb's Experiential Learning Theory, and it has fundamentally reshaped modern medical training.
The theory says that true, deep learning isn't just a straight line. Instead, it's a continuous four-stage cycle. It's a process that systematically turns raw, hands-on experience into genuine expertise. So let's break it down.
It all starts with a concrete experience, actually doing something. This could be a direct encounter with a real patient, or maybe practicing a complex procedure for the very first time in a safe, simulated environment.
Next, and this part is absolutely critical, the learner steps back to reflect. They review what just happened, asking questions like, what went well? What was really challenging? How did that feel? This often happens in a debrief session, where they analyze everything from their technique to their communication.
And then you get the aha moment. This is where the learner connects that reflection back to all their theoretical knowledge. They start to form new ideas or principles. For instance, they might suddenly realize, oh, the reason I struggled with that procedure is because of those anatomical variations I read about.
And finally, they put that new understanding of the test. This is active experimentation. They go out and try the procedure again, maybe this time on a real patient under supervision, applying exactly what they've learned to refine their skills.
Now, what's so brilliant about this is that the cycle isn't a flat circle you go around once. It's really a spiral. Each and every time a learner goes through these four stages, they're building on the last cycle, leading to deeper and deeper levels of understanding and mastery.
But the theory doesn't stop there. It also recognizes something we all kind of know intuitively. We aren't all the same. We each have our own natural preferences for certain stages of this cycle, and that shapes our personal learning style.
Think about it for yourself for a second. Are you the kind of person who just likes to jump in and try something new? Or would you rather hang back, gather all the info you can, and think it through first? Well, that preference leads to four distinct learning styles that Kolb identified. So these preferences result in four main styles. You've got your divergers, who are really imaginative thinkers. Then you have the assimilators, who are masters of logic and theory. Convergers excel at practical, hands-on problem solving, and accommodators thrive on intuition and good old trial and error. Okay, so this is all great in theory, but the crucial point is that this isn't just an abstract idea. We need to see how it's actually put into practice to shape the doctors who will one day be taking care of all of us. So in clinical clerkships, where students first start working with real patients, this cycle is literally embedded everywhere. They have structured debriefing sessions that force them to reflect, and they use learning portfolios that require them to connect those specific patient cases back to broader medical theory.
Simulation labs are maybe the purest example of Kolb's cycle in action. These high-tech mannequins provide that concrete experience in a super safe environment. Then, the guided debriefs force that critical reflection, and the skill stations allow for repeated experimentation until the procedure becomes second nature.
This cycle is even used to train entire healthcare teams. By having students from medicine, nursing, and pharmacy all work on a case together, the debrief isn't just about a procedure. It's about understanding each other's roles and creating a shared plan for how they'll collaborate in a real hospital setting.
So what's the end result of all this structured learning? Well, when medical education is built this way, the payoff for both the doctor and the patient is just immense.
By intentionally moving through this cycle, medical learners develop much stronger clinical reasoning. They form a clearer professional identity, they become more adaptable and resilient in the face of uncertainty, and most importantly, they retain their skills far more effectively.
Ultimately, Kolb's cycle provides this powerful blueprint for turning any experience into expertise. It's the engine of training for modern medicine. But it leaves us with a question. What could you master if you consciously applied this cycle of doing, reflecting, thinking, and trying again in your own life?